Dog, I swear there's a new thing with this team every single week this offseason, and they haven't all been good. So I'm just gonna get to it. The New England Patriots have been one of the most talked about teams this offseason, and honestly, I didn't really expect them to be, because they don't have a rookie quarterback and haven't really made any crazy big moves. At least, not yet. New England seems to be at the top of the list for landing DeAndre Hopkins. Getting him would completely change the Patriots' passing game, and Mac Jones could use all the help he can get. He's coming off of a disappointing second year in the pros, and a lot of that has to do with the absolute disaster of lack of an offensive coordinator situation New England had last season. Luckily, Belichick recognized his mistakes and went out and hired a familiar face to help transform that offense. The biggest difference between the Patriots last season and this season isn't actually a player on the roster. It's actually a coach, the butt chin himself, Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien is the Patriots offensive coordinator again. Billy Boy was in New England from 2007 to 2011 before he became the head coach at Penn State and turned that into the head coaching gig with the Texans. Contrary to how a lot of people remember it, he was actually decently successful in Houston. But as you probably know, once he was given the general manager title, he kind of blew that shit up fast and was fired because of it. O'Brien spent the last 2 seasons at Alabama as their offensive coordinator, and now he's back in the pros. Bill O'Brien is a good offensive mind, and that alone is going to improve the New England offense, because honestly, anything was gonna be better than last season. In 2022, Bill Belichick decided to, instead of hiring a new offensive coordinator, had Matt Patricia and Joe Judge call plays, neither of which had ever been offensive coordinators, and to this day, I still have no clue what the hell Bill was thinking. Patricia has been a defensive coordinator, and Judge has mainly been a special teams coordinator. They weren't exactly the most fit for the role, and it backfired, mainly on Mac Jones. In contrast to last season, Mac Jones actually had a very promising rookie season in 2021. The Patriots took a swing on him 15th overall, and it paid off immediately. Jones was a Pro Bowler after he threw for 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He wasn't anything crazy, but he was good enough and, more importantly, consistent. New England went 10-7 and made the postseason. For a moment there, it looked like the Patriots were going to be able to succeed post-Tom Brady, but that's not what it looked like last season. Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator in 2021, but last season he jumped ship to Las Vegas to be the Raiders head coach, and that left a hole at offensive coordinator that led to the Matt Patricia and Joe Judge taking over disaster. Jones had a slump in essentially every single way. He had 3,000 yards and 14 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, and Jones was rightfully frustrated, and that led to him going behind Bill Belichick's back to seek outside help for the offensive struggles. That clearly has ruined the relationship between Belichick and Mac, and the Patriots reportedly even shopped Mac around too. Things are a bit rocky in New England, but with Bill O'Brien returning, there's hope that the Patriots offense can improve, and the Patriots may not be done just yet helping Mac Jones on the offensive side of the ball. DeAndre Hopkins has been a hot name this offseason after the Cardinals released him. Arizona wanted to get out of his 2-year, $54.5 million contract, and to do that, they have to eat $22.6 million this year. The Cardinals will save $8 million this season and $26 million in 2024. Arizona is going full rebuild, and having him still on the roster doesn't really do much for them. Now, he hasn't had the best 2-year stretch. Hopkins tore his MCL in 2020 and then missed 6 games last season after he was suspended for violating the league's substance abuse policy. It makes sense, but it doesn't necessarily mean Hopkins doesn't have anything left in the tank. He has 6 1,000-yard seasons in his 10-year career, and teams want him, specifically 2 teams, the Titans and the Patriots. Tennessee has a very clear need at wide receiver, maybe even more than the Patriots, which is saying something. Treylon Burks is the number 1, which is less than ideal. Behind him is Nick Westbrook-Akine and Kyle Phillips. It's an ugly group, and the Titans know they need to do something about it. New England also could use the wide receiver help though. Juju Smith-Schuster is the current number 1 after the Patriots gave him a 3-year, $25.5 million contract this offseason. Then Devontae Parker and Tyquan Thornton should round out their top 3. It's also not a pretty unit, and that's why New England could definitely use DeAndre Hopkins. He's visited both teams already. Now it's just time to sit back and wait to see if any other teams give him a call, or if it's truly a two-man race until DeAndre Hopkins figures out where he wants to go. Getting DeAndre Hopkins is a big deal, and everyone's waiting to see where he's going to end up going. But that's not even the biggest story surrounding the Patriots anymore. It's Jack Jones. He is so screwed. Do you know just how dumb you have to be to bring loaded guns to an airport? Well, Jack Jones was arrested after 2 firearms were found in his luggage at Logan Airport in Boston. His bail set at $50,000, and he now faces serious jail time. Jones is being charged with 2 counts of possession of a concealed weapon in a secure area of the airport, possession of ammunition without a firearm identification card, unlawful possession of a firearm, carrying a loaded firearm, and possession of a large capacity feeding device. It's hard to say what his future looks like, but there's a very real chance he never plays another snap for the Patriots, which is a real shame because he was good as a rookie, at least when he was on the field. He only played 13 games, he missed 2 games towards the end of the year with a knee injury, and then was suspended for missing rehab sessions and talking back to Bill Belichick. Still, Jones had 2 interceptions and 6 passes defended in 2022. He was showing signs of promise for the future, but now there may not be a future. Look, it's not like this is an isolated incident either. Coming into the league, the big questions surrounding Jack Jones were really all about his off-the-field stuff. He was a good coverage cornerback in college, but he didn't make good decisions. For instance, Jones was a 5-star recruit and went to USC, but was dismissed due to academic issues. Then, when he was at JUCO, Jones and 2 other former Long Beach Poly football players broke into a Panda Express where they were arrested for commercial burglary and conspiracy to commit a crime. The police literally caught him inside of the Panda Express after business hours with one of the guys. The third person fled the scene and took the police on a chase before eventually getting caught. Jones pled guilty to burglary and served 45 days under house arrest. Then Jones went on to transfer to Arizona and played well enough to be drafted in the 4th round by the Patriots. But the red flags were there. Although it is hard to blame Bill Belichick for trying. I would say J.C. Jackson is a similar-ish story from his time in college. J.C. Jackson was expected to get drafted, but he didn't. He had a lot of off-the-field baggage, which caused him to go undrafted. See, Jackson was a 4-star recruit and committed to play at Florida, but he injured his shoulder in the season opener. Still, his name was everywhere. He was caught in a car with weed, but charges weren't filed, and then later that month, someone opened fired on a car he was in with 2 friends, and a bullet grazed his eyelid. Then, in April of 2015, Jackson was charged with 3 counts of home invasion with a deadly weapon and 1 count of burglary of an occupied dwelling. It carried a potential life sentence, but he was acquitted. According to the police report, Jackson was on the phone outside while the other 2 guys stole money, weed, and an Xbox. He had off-the-field issues, but the Patriots took a chance on him, and it worked out for them. But to be fair, what Jack Jones did was way more stupid. I'm not saying he's the smartest guy in the world, but he's certainly in contention for the dumbest. Whatever your reasoning is for bringing that to an airport, it's not good enough. You don't bring loaded guns to the airport, period. And now he's just another headache that the Patriots are going to have to figure out before the regular season starts. But at the very least, as a Patriots fan, I'm trying to hold it together because who really knows what the hell's going on?